Y'all are pretty cute, aren't y'all?
Our next guest, Josh Greider's happiest when he's writing songs, but when he takes the stage, there is a magic that takes over, which continues to mesmerize his fans. And he's taking center stage here today on
Why
the
are you laughing at that intro? I was giggling.
I'm not center stage.
But we're mesmerized. We have to keep you far enough away.
I like
so,
mesmerized.
Two unmarried women, I can't sit too close to the handsome gentleman.
You might recognize Josh from Troubadour, Texas.
Yes.
Indeed.
Got the camera crew in here today. You're fancy when you get a camera crew following you around.
Yeah, I've got a tail. That's what I like to call it. I got to act right.
It's like a shadow.
Just sit up straight. This little microphone is on all the time. As you guys know,
well,
you gotta be careful.
She knows for sure how that is.
Yes.
Has it changed the way that you interact with people or the way that you perform, knowing that it's all being, put on this reality show?
It only changes like the first 10 minutes of wearing it, because after that I usually forget, and then about the time they ask for the mic back, I'm like, oh man.
You're like, oh darn it, I've been right.
It is I might lose my job over this, but no, everything's been fine.
Now, have you always had a connection to, writing music and singing music, or did this go back to your childhood, or did you have like a real job before you were a country music star?
Any real job I've ever had is just so I could play, just so that I could afford to put gas in the van and drive to the gig. No, this has just kind of been it. I've kind of always just known. I've loved music since I was little, and I taught myself how to play guitar in high school, and I went to college with the sole express of starting a band, not necessarily graduating.
Because chicks dig a guy in a band.
Man, I tell you what, we went.
He's like, let me tell you some stories.
I was in 8th grade, and we went on this trip, like a class trip, to an amusement park in Albuquerque. I'm from New Mexico, and I went in one of those, those like karaoke booths where you can like record a song or whatever. And I sang the Thunder Rolls to the karaoke
that's
booth
such a good Garth Brooks song.
In 8th grade. So we're on the bus back to Las Cruces, and this tape just makes its way. Everybody's got their Walkman, and it makes its way up and down the bus. And never had I received such female attention. Like
You're like, this is how I get the ladies'
We're
attention.
so easy to figure out.
Man,
really.
I was like, this is for real, but I cannot go to this karaoke studio in Albuquerque every weekend and record songs. I gotta learn how to play the guitar so I can be mobile.
I think that's something that we hear a lot from artists who are they're self-taught, most of them, and they just pick it up, and you just have an ear for music. And
I've studied music, but as far as guitar and all that stuff, it's from listening, being raised on Merle Haggard records and stuff like that.
Now you're married. How long have you been married?
We were married 8 years on April 16th.
Oh, congrats. And you have a little 4-year-old who we saw. What's his name? Jay? No.
JJ.
JJ.
Yeah.
He's so cute. What are you all doing there?
You're just walking on his child.
That's at the ballpark in Arlington. I sang, well, that's our house, but I sang the national anthem last season at the ballpark. And so I took Jay with me.
Now, what does your wife think of all of this world? Is she like, groupies, hands off my husband? Is she an inspiration for you? Brag about your wife for a little bit.
She gets it. She's the best. I've known her. She was like the 3rd girl I met when I moved to Texas from New Mexico. And I was blown away by the beauty of so many of these Texas women. Aww. And 3 years later, we started dating. 3 years later, we got married. And then, it's been 8 years. Wow, that's a lot of years. Wow. They just stacked up on me. But no, she gets it. She's a singer herself. I wrote this song called "Crazy Like You." You got to find somebody that's crazy like you, and so. Because
aren't we all a little bit crazy?
That's completely.
We all have a unique sort of crazy, though, don't we? Will you stick around and play something for us?
I'd love to.
And then we want to talk about your new album and
your new single.
I'm here as long as you'll have me. This couch is comfy.
He's going to stick around, so you guys come back right after the break. Listen to that.